Hello, my name is Holly, and I'm a representative with the Student Business Office. And today we're just making this short video to introduce our office and share some helpful tips and tricks for when, where, and how to pay your bill. So let's go ahead and get started. The Student Business Office is located on the first floor of Old Main. We're in room 110, and we're right next to the Rose Garden. Our office is comprised of 3 different units. So we have the payment unit, which processes all the payments that Western receives. So for students, that's going to mean payments for tuition, fees, housing, and other education-related expenses, whether it's a 529 payment, a check payment, that's going to go through our payment unit. The billing unit is responsible for the financial activity on your student account. So that includes your charges, refunds, and your year-end tax statements. The debt recovery unit helps students navigate the repayment of federal loans, as well as any former student account balances. So if you find yourself leaving Western with a balance, definitely get in touch with our debt recovery unit because they'll be able to offer some repayment solutions for you and really ease that process. And that is a general introduction to the SBO. So let's go ahead and talk about when, where, and how to pay your bill. So here we've got an image of our Student Business Office homepage, which I'm sure you know how to access because you found this video. But nonetheless, the webpage is sbo.ww.edu. And I've got an image here of the homepage, but with the tuition and payments tab expanded, because I wanted you to see all the informational links that are available under that tab. The link to tuition and fees is going to take you to some very detailed breakdowns of tuition and fee pricing information. The definition of fees page is going to give you some information on those mandatory fees that you pay every quarter, including how that money is utilized on campus for you as a student. There's a link to our payment plan, which is offered on a quarterly basis, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. But right now, we're going to go ahead and dive into when, where, and how to pay your bill. So this is an image pulled directly from that webpage of when, where, and how to pay. The exact dates right now are relevant for the 2023-2024 academic year, but there are some general dates that are going to ring true for every academic year, and that is tuition and housing and meal plan charges are always due on the first day of classes. So that's a really good general date that you can always keep in mind rather than trying to remember specific dates. So those charges due on the first day of classes. For fall 2023, that's going to be September 27th. A grace period is then extended to the following 15th of the month. So for fall, that's going to be October 15th. And again, that always rings true. You can see in the future quarters, first day of class due date, following 15th is the late fee date. If your balance remains unpaid at the close of business on October 15th, it will be subject to a $55 late fee and 1% interest charge. And late fee assessment is a monthly process. So if you still have an unpaid balance at the close of business November 15th, you're going to get another set of fees. December 15th, same thing. So good timeframes to keep in mind and a good reminder to pay your balance in a timely manner. So in addition to having those set due dates and late fee dates, our office does also publish monthly statements to your Western account online, and we send you an email notifying you those statements are available. The emails come from this email address in green. It is long, so I wanted to highlight it for you. If you get an email from sbo@cashnet.vendor.ww.edu, it is important. It is going to be important correspondence from our office about activity on your student account. So please don't ignore those emails. Take some time to open them up, log into your Western account online, and see what's going on with your account. I've included here what the body of those emails look like. So you can see they include a bunch of helpful information, reminders on due dates, late fee policies, payment options, etc. But it does not include any specific account information. It's not telling you what your balance is. And that's because it's acting more as a prompt for you to log in and review your statement. And so we'll talk about how to do that here in just a moment. But let's look at what a statement looks like. So your statement is going to be 2 pages. On the left side here, we've got the first page, and on the right, the second page. So this is kind of the bread and butter of your statement. You can see up in the upper right-hand corner is going to be a statement date and your total current balance due. In the body of the statement, there's going to be an area to account for any previous account balance. So if you had something left over from your previous statement, that's going to be accounted for here. And then a detailed breakdown of all the activity that's happened in the past 30 days. So this is a July 1st statement. And so this is going to be all June account activity. And then again, a reiteration of the current balance due. So I do want to highlight that the Student Business Office does not publish these statements for everyone for every month. We are only doing it if there has been activity on your account in the past 30 days. And that is in an effort for those emails to be even more, eye-catching, because you're not just getting one every month, you're only getting them if there's been that activity on your account. The second page of the statement here is going to echo a lot of the same information from the body of the notification email. It's going to remind you about due dates, late fee policies, and payment options. So always a good thing to review when you are reviewing your statement as well. Okay, so let's talk about where you access those payments and this Western account online that I've been referring to. So we're back here again to the home page of our SBO website. And right there on the main page is going to be this box with the make a payment options. You can see there's a link for students and a link for parents, and both of these links are going to take you to the Western account online, which looks like this. And students, I do want to highlight for you that this is already available through your Web for You using your universal login information. Parents, we will talk in just a moment about how your student can send you a link to create your own login to this. And that's what we want. We want parents to have their own access, because you also will then get your own statement notification email. So super important, and we'll touch on that in just a moment. But this is the overview page of the Western account online. This is always going to be where it directs you to upon first login. Up in the right-hand corner here is going to be your total current balance due. So let's say on September 1st, you logged into your Western account online, you went over here to statements, you downloaded and saved your September 1st statement. Now it's September 27th, first day of classes, you know tuition's due, so you log back in, but the balance up here no longer matches the balance that was on your September 1st statement. So that is likely because there's been activity in the current month, and you can see details of that activity under the Activity Details tab. So that is where any account activity in the current month will reside until it's packaged up into the next month's statement. So it's super helpful to see the transactions and reconcile between that statement that you have and maybe if it doesn't match your current account balance. So a really good place to be able to navigate there. So students, let's go ahead and give parents and other payers access to this online portal. You'll just go up here to the My Account tab, and that'll take you to this page where you have option to add payment methods and that information, but really we're highlighting the payers area. So if you click this link to send a payer invitation, you'll be able to enter the name and email address for anyone that you want to have access to this. And the great thing about that is whatever email address gets put in there, that person will receive the statement notification emails to that email address. So for students, I also want to highlight, I think that everyone can probably tell that this Western account online is really focused around statements. There's no place for there to be a running tally of charges for the quarter. Everything is going to get packaged up into monthly statements, so it can feel a little bit disconnected. But students, you do have access to another resource which will give you a running tally of all of your charges and payments for an entire quarter. So let's talk about that. If you were to go to Web for You, Student Accounts, and Account Detail for Terms. So here we've got an image of a Web for You page. You'll click on Student Accounts. This is how you normally access your Western account online, but right under that is going to be a link for account detail for term. So that'll take you to another page where you have the option to input any term, and this will go back, your entire history at Western. And it's going to give you a comprehensive breakdown, kind of like your credit card statement, a running tally of all the transactions for the quarter. So this can be super helpful. You can export this information to a PDF and share it with your payers if that's something they need. It really fills in a gap that the Western account online just doesn't offer the information in this way. So we really like to highlight it for students. So let's dive into all the options that are available to pay your bill. So this is back to the sbo.ww.edu, when, where, and how to pay. These are all the links that are going to live under that web page. You can see that there are specific links to a ton of payment options. So if you have specific questions on get payments, navigate here, click on this link. It's going to give you a lot of great information. I will highlight really quickly the online e-check payment option. This is Western's preferred method for payment. It is fast. That payment is going to post to your student's account immediately, so you're not waiting on a paper check to be sent in the mail. It's safe. The payment processor that we use goes above and beyond to secure the data and ensure privacy. And then it is also free, so there is not an additional processing fee for paying by e-check. That is not the case for a credit or debit card. So even if you're paying with a debit card, there's going to be a 2.85% processing fee. So that's going to add up really quickly when we're talking about thousands of dollars of tuition. So if you want to pay online, e-check is the way to go. And this link here is going to provide a lot more information on that as well. Oh, I actually will go back really quick because I just want to note that there is a link for sending 529 payments. That's going to take you to this beautiful page, which is going to break down all the different options for paying by 529. I am not going to go into all of them right now because I want you to go here and read through them. There's a lot more options that are ever growing. If you have questions, reach out to our office, please, but this is going to be a lot of helpful information. Okay, so on a quarterly basis, the Student Business Office also does offer a payment plan. So that's going to allow you to pay your balance due in monthly installments, and you won't be subject to the monthly late fees because you've signed up for this plan, you've agreed you're going to be paying an installment, so we're not going to subject you to the $55 fee. So it's a really good way to budget and plan those payments. The way that the plan is working is it usually opens for enrollment about a week before the quarter starts, usually stays open for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it's going to split your balance owed into 3 installments. And then if you enroll after that 3rd week for kind of the next month or so of the quarter, there's still going to be a plan available for you, but it's just going to be a 2 installment plan instead of a 3 installment plan. So really awesome resource. It's available for enrollment through the Western account online. There is an enrollment fee, which is highlighted here, but it can just be a really awesome, way to budget and plan for your payments through the quarter. And that kind of touches on everything for when, where, and how to pay. So I do want to highlight one more kind of overview of some information that our office finds really important, which is our checklist for success. So there are 4 items on here that we think are just so important for all students to take care of for a successful career at Western. The first is the release of financial information form. So all higher education is subject to federal privacy regulations called FERPA, which are similar to HIPAA, like in the healthcare industry. So if you have a parent or payer that's handling your student account and they call us with questions, we cannot give them information without your permission. So this is a very quick and easy electronic form for you to fill out. You can give us that permission to talk to anyone. And then that way, if folks have questions or concerns, they can contact our office and there's going to be no hangups there. The authorization to apply financial aid funds, there are some rules and regulations about how federal financial aid can be applied to certain things. So filling out this form will prevent any hiccups in application of your financial aid. The payer invitation we already discussed. And last but not least here, direct deposit. So at your career at Western, you are likely to have a refund at some point, whether that be you paid all your tuition and then you dropped a class, which caused reduction in tuition. We will pay you back that tuition that you paid. Or let's say you have a substantial amount of financial aid that comes to your student account first, pays for everything, and then the remaining balance gets sent to you as a refund for you to use for living expenses or, outside of campus expenses, that kind of thing. So in order for us to get those funds to you, you need to set up your refund preference. So that happens through our third-party refund processor, which is called Bank Mobile. You likely got some correspondence from them in the mail. It is legitimate. We get a lot of questions about that, which is understandable and respectable as well, but it is legitimate. So if you want to navigate to their webpage, it's refundselection.com. If it's the very first time that you're logging in, you'll want to click on Need a Code and go through the process of them sending you a code for login purposes and everything. You can input your own bank account information as a refund preference. So that way we'll send you a refund as a direct deposit to your bank. That you do not have to sign up for a Bank Mobile product. You do not have to enroll in a Bank Mobile checking account in order to utilize this feature. Again, it's fastest, safest, most secure way for us to get these funds to students. If you were to not set up a preference, ultimately a check would be mailed to you, but that takes up to 3 weeks and it goes to the last address on file. So it can just be a lot less reliable. And so this is a free and easy option to you to make sure that we're getting those funds that are owed to you as quickly and safely as possible. And that is it. That is kind of the highlights of everything that we wanted to share. So I hope it was helpful and I hope you feel like you can reach out to our office if you have any other lingering questions or concerns. Thank you for taking the time and enjoy your time at Western.